Physics class 11 chapter 6 work energy and power. The conservation of mechanical energy. The principle is stated as the total mechanical energy of a system is conserved if the forces doing work on it are conservative. So this is a statement of the principle of conservation of mechanical energy. It states that the total mechanical energy of a system is conserved if the forces doing the work on it are conservative. Suppose that a body undergoes displacement delta x under the action of a conservative force F. Suppose you have got in one dimension the displacement is delta x and the conservative force is F. Okay, so the force is applied and there is a displacement delta x. Then by work energy theorem, this theorem, work energy theorem states that change in kinetic energy equal to work done. Change in kinetic energy means delta k and work done is equal to f of x into delta x. The force is fx and displacement is delta x. So the work done will be product of these, that is fx delta x. If the force is conservative, the potential energy function Vx can be defined as delta V equal to minus of f of x delta x. Now this I have defined in previous class that the potential energy, if the force is conservative, then it is defined as delta V equal to minus of f of x delta x. If you add delta k and delta V left hand side and right hand side, then you get here delta k plus delta V equal to f of x delta x minus of f of x delta x. This is positive, this is negative, so they will cancel each other, so equal to 0. So what we can say is delta of k plus V equal to 0. This means that k plus V, that is sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy is constant. Then this sum of the kinetic energy and potential energy is nothing but your total mechanical energy. So mechanical energy is the sum of the kinetic energy and the potential energy. Now when we define or we stated the principle of conservation of mechanical energy, we use conservative force. So now let us define what do we mean by conservative forces. So for that we have got three types of definition. Okay, some of the definitions of conservative forces. A force Fx is conservative if it can be derived from scalar quantity Vx by the relation delta V equal to minus of Fx delta x. So if the force is conservative, then we can derive that from the quantity delta V, that is potential energy, that delta V is equal to minus of f of x delta x. If we can derive the force from here, then we can say that the force is conservative. The second way is the work done by the conservative force depends only on the end points. So conservative force only depends on the end points. This can be seen W work done equal to Kf minus Ki. This is final kinetic energy minus the initial kinetic energy equal to Vxi minus Vxf. This is initial potential energy, this is final potential energy. And the third way we can say is the work done by this force, that is conservative force, in a closed path is 0. So if you have got a closed path, then the work done is 0. Then you call that force as the conservative force. Now let us try to understand the conservation of mechanical energy by taking examples. So first let us consider a ball of mass m dropped from a cliff of height h. Okay, so we have got a ball, okay, and it is dropped from a height h. So this is the height of the cliff, okay, or it is dropped from the height capital H. So initially the velocity is 0. At midpoint somewhere in between intermediate point, the height at height small h, the velocity will take as a Vh, and just before touching the ground the velocity we take as Vf, okay, the final velocity. The height is capital H. The total mechanical energies E naught, E small h and E capital H of the ball at indicated heights 0, that is ground level, small h and capital H are. So these are the points indicated. One is at the height h, okay, height h. One is at some intermediate height, that is small h. This height is small h, and at the ground level, that is 0. So at this point, suppose the total mechanical energy is E capital H. At this point it is E small h, and at this E0. Okay, and the height for this is capital H, for this is small h, and for this ground level it will be 0. So the kinetic energy and the potential energy, the sum will be given as mechanical energy. So let us find the mechanical energy at these all 3 points. So EH, that is at height capital H, equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is given by the formula 1 by 2 mv square plus potential energy is given by mgh. See, potential energy is also because of the position and the configuration of the object. So here the position of the object is at height h, therefore the potential energy will be at height h will be mg capital H. Okay, now initially we are dropping the ball from rest, that means velocity is 0, so v is 0. So if you put v equal to 0, this value is 0, so what remains here is mg capital H. Now at this point, okay, h, the small h, okay, the height we are taking a small h, so the mechanical energy will be given by same formula, EH is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is 1 by 2 mvh square plus mg small h. Okay, this you keep as it is because here height also is there and velocity also is there, mass is there, acceleration is there due to gravity, so this remains same. Now at the ground level, just before reaching the touching the ground, or at the ground level, we can say that E naught equal to 1 by 2 m vf square plus mg, the height is 0. Okay, as I was saying that it is reaching the ground, so there is no height, so h is 0. That means this value is 0 and vf is a final velocity, so you can say equal to 1 by 2 m vf square. Okay, this value is 0. The constant force is special case of spatially dependent force f of x. Spatially means depending on the space. The mechanical energy is conserved. That means if mechanical energy conserved means this energy equal to this energy and this energy equal to this energy. Why? Because the energy is conserved. So we can consider EH capital H equal to E0 or E naught. This implies EH capital H, the value we found mgh, equal to E naught. E naught we found as 1 by 2 m vf square. From here, if you transfer 2 over here, it will go in the numerator. If you transfer m, it will go in the denominator. Here remains vf square. M cut, you get here 2gh equal to vf square. Take a square root on both the sides, so you get vf equal to under the square root 2gh. Okay, m is cut, so 2gh in the square root remains. And this we have studied in chapter 3 that it is the result of a free falling body. Okay, so this we have done in chapter 3. Again, further we can go ahead that E capital H equal to E small h. Why? Because the mechanical energy is conserved. So we consider E capital H equal to EH. So E capital H, we found that this is mgh. So put the value mgh equal to E small h is this value, half mvh square plus mgh. So put the value half mvh square plus mgh. Okay, all have got m, right? So we'll divide each term by m. So when you divide by m, here you get G capital H equal to 1 by 2 Vh square plus G small h. Okay. Now here this Gh, if you transfer over here, here remains 1 by 2 Vh square equal to this G capital H as it is, and this when you transfer it is minus Gh. 2 transfer over here, so you get here Vh square equal to 2, and from here I am taking G common, so here remains capital H minus small h, and this result also is from the kinematic. So this is also known result to us. At height capital H, the energy is purely potential. So when the object is, okay, the object is at height H, then energy is only the potential energy. Okay, at height H, the energy is only potential energy. It is partially converted to kinetic energy at height small h, and it is fully kinetic at ground level. So when it starts, the object starts falling down, right? You are dropping it from the height capital H. So at this junction, at this point, it has got only potential energy. But when you are dropping it, it starts coming down, right? So it will be converted. It will start converting into the kinetic energy. And at this junction, it will be only the kinetic energy. Okay, it is fully kinetic at ground level. Okay, and at a height small h, it is partially kinetic energy. Okay, this illustrates the conservation of mechanical energy, and this illustrates, or this gives you the example of the mechanical conservation of mechanical energy. The potential energy of a spring. The spring force is an example of a variable force which is conservative. Now spring, you know how the spring is there, right? Spring is, you can extend it, you can compress it. Now the spring is has a force, and that force is the example of a variable force, and that variable force is conservative. Consider a block attached to a spring and resting on a smooth horizontal surface. The other end of spring is attached to a rigid wall as shown in the figure. The spring is light and treated as massless. Okay, so we have shown the figure here that this is a spring, this is a block. Okay, the block has got mass m, it is attached to the spring. Okay, and the spring has got it is lying on a smooth surface, plus this is at rest. Okay, it is equilibrium, so s equal to 0, and the spring is tied the second end with a rigid wall. Okay, so it is fixed. This is fixed, but this can be moved, but at this point it is equilibrium. So here f of s equal to 0 and x equal to 0, so it is at equilibrium in the first figure. Okay, so in the first figure you can see that it is at equilibrium, just lying at rest. In an ideal spring, the spring force F of s, Fs, is proportional to the displacement x from equilibrium position. Now, for an ideal spring, the spring force that you call as capital Fs is proportional to the displacement x from the equilibrium position. So, at equilibrium means this is the equilibrium position at x equal to 0 position. This force law for the spring is called Hooke's law, and this we call it as a Hooke's law, and mathematically Hooke's law is written as f of s is equal to minus of kx. Okay, what is k? K is a spring constant. Why it is negative? Because they are opposite to each other. Okay, when x is positive, the force is negative, when force is positive, x is negative. Okay, therefore it is the negative sign is here. So k is a spring constant. The unit of k, that is spring constant, is Newton per meter. Spring is stiff if k is large and soft if k is small. So if the k value is large, that is spring constant value is large, that means we can say that the spring is stiff, tight. And if the value of k is small, then you can say that the spring is soft. Suppose we pull the block outward. If the extension is xm, the work done by spring force. Now suppose in the second figure you can see, suppose I have extended this. Okay, I have pulled this. If you pull this outward, then it is extended. Suppose it is extended to xm, the maximum displacement xm. So it is from the equilibrium, this is equilibrium line, from here it is going to xm displacement. Okay, the maximum displacement is xm. Then the work done by the spring force, Ws is equal to integral 0 to xm fs dx. Okay, now fs value we can put from here, that is minus kx. So I put here f of s value as minus kx dx, and integral is 0 to xm. Now we use the integration formula, that is x power n. Integration of x power n is equal integration of x power n dx is given as x power n plus 1 divided by n plus 1 plus c, but this is definite integral, so there is no need to put the constant. So here k and minus is constant, so take out and you have to integrate this x power 1. So here instead of n it is 1, so 1 plus 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2, so 2 divided by 1 plus 1, that is 2. So the integral of this will be minus kx dx. This integral is minus k into x square by 2. Limit is starting from 0 to xm. Why 0? Because at initially it is at equilibrium, that is x equal to 0, and then you are pulling it out. So when you pull, it is taking the displacement xm. Okay, that is the maximum displacement. So that is what 0 to xm. So first you have to apply the upper limit minus the lower limit. Now lower limit is 0, so minus 0 will be 0. So I have not written. I have written only the upper limit. So minus k instead of x, xm square by 2 minus 0. So the total will be minus k xm square by 2. Okay, that is the work done by the spring. Now this work done we can show in the graph. Here you can see the graph. This is the line showing the Hooke's law, that is Fs equal to minus kx, and this area under the curve gives you the work done. Okay, this one, that is here I have written area equal to minus k xm square by 2. This area, okay, this is the x-axis, this is the force, and this area here will give you the work done by the spring. Work done by external pulling force capital F is positive since it overcomes the spring force. Now work done by the external pulling force will be positive. Why? Because it is overcoming the spring force. The spring force is given to you as minus kxm square by 2. Okay, so this is negative, so the external pulling force will be positive. That means W equal to plus kxm square by 2. So this is the work done by the external pulling force, that is positive kxm square by 2. Okay, same, but it is positive. The same is true when the spring is compressed with displacement xc less than 0. Now in this third figure you can see that the spring is compressed. Okay, if you are pushing it towards the inside, okay, if you are pushing it here, then the work done will be the same way. Okay, in the same procedure how we gave the work done for this, we can give the work done for when you are compressing the spring. Okay, so I have written directly, the spring force does the work Ws is equal to minus kxc square by 2. Here the displacement we consider when you are pushing it, the displacement is xc. Okay, the displacement is xc, then the work done by the spring is given as negative of kxc square by 2. While the external force F does work plus kxc square by 2. Okay, the external force will be doing the work positive than this because they are equating each other. Okay, it is overcoming, therefore the external force will be plus kxc square by 2. Okay, just similar to this one. If block is moved from an initial displacement xi to a final displacement xf, the work done by spring force will be Ws is equal to minus integral of xi to xf kx dx. Okay, this I am putting the same value as the spring force. Okay, this one Fs equal to minus kx, so it is put here kx dx. This is negative sign, and it is the work done is initial position xi to final position xf, and when you integrate using the same identity, this formula, what you get is minus of, you get minus of here x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, right? So same way here you get x power 1 plus 1, right? So 1 plus 1 will be 2 divided by 2, but you have to apply the upper limit and the lower limit. Okay, so upper limit you apply, that means it will be not only x, it will be xf square by 2, and when you apply the lower limit it is xi square by 2. Okay, and k remains, right? So integral is actually x square by 2 and k is a constant which is out of the integral. Okay, and negative also remains using this identity. You can see it is the same like this only, but here you have got xn, here you have got initial position as xi and final position is xf. Okay, if you multiply this negative inside, that you get here as k, this will become minus and this will become plus. So at the plus term I am writing first equal to k xi square by 2, and this minus term secondly, that is minus k xf square by 2. Okay, so that is the work done in moving the block from the initial position xi to xf. If the block is pulled from xi and allowed to return to xi, now suppose you are pulling the block from xi, and suppose it is returning back to xi again, that means it is a closed path. In the closed path, if I put instead of xi is xi, but instead of xf if you put a xi again, because final position we are taking xi, then if you place here ws is equal to kxi square minus kxi square equal to 0, right? That means, what does this mean? This means that the force is conservative, right? Because when you say force is conservative, I have given you the definition, the work done by this force in a closed path is 0, and you saw that work done is 0 in a closed path, that means the force is conservative force. Okay, so that's why we have showed this, that if you are starting from xi and bringing it to the same position, then the work done will be 0. The work done by spring force in a cyclic process is 0. That means it is conservative force. The spring force is position dependent by Hooke's law, that is Fs equal to minus kx, and does work which only depends on the initial and final position. Therefore, Fs is conservative. That means spring force is conservative. At equilibrium, potential energy Vx equal to 0. Okay, equilibrium means at this position. Okay, this is a position where it is at equilibrium, where x is 0 and Fs is 0. So at equilibrium, the potential energy is 0. That's why I have written here Vx, potential energy Vx equal to 0. For extension or compression x, potential energy Vx is equal to kx square by 2. Okay, I have just written from here, that you can see from here it is kx square by 2, right? So the potential energy will be kx square by 2. If block of mass m is extended to xm and released from rest, then its total mechanical energy at any arbitrary point x. This x point is between the final position and both the final position, okay, because you know spring is oscillating, right? So it is oscillating between xm to minus xm. So you are taking some intermediate position, okay, intermediate, that means this x lies between minus xm to xm. It is oscillating, right? You know that it is oscillating means goes forth and comes back, goes forth and comes back, therefore it is called oscillating. So minus xm2 less than x less than xm is, so we are considering that a point in between the maximum compression and maximum extension. So we can write the total mechanical energy as half k xm square equal to half k x square plus half mv square. Why we have written this? This is by the conservation of mechanical energy. Therefore, speed and kinetic energy are maximum at equilibrium position, that is s is equal to 0. So at equilibrium, at this position, suppose you are pulling this, right, and then you are releasing it. So it will start oscillating in like this way, right? So at the equilibrium position, that is s is equal to 0, the kinetic energy is maximum. Why? Because the speed is maximum, v is maximum, so kinetic energy also is maximum, because kinetic energy depends on the speed. So we can say the speed and kinetic energy are maximum at equilibrium position, that is x is equal to 0. So if you put x value is 0 here, so you get here 1 by 2 k xm square equal to this value is 0. So you can cancel out and write only this value, that is equal to 1 by 2 and vm square, and we are considering speed maximum, so vm is nothing but the maximum speed. So we can say that from here, if I put vm square here and this 2 and m you transfer over here, if you transfer 2 here, 2 and 2 will cut, if you transfer m it will go in the denominator. So get vm square equal to k xm square by m. Take a square root on both the sides, so vm equal to under the square root k by m into xm, right? Now this k by m, the dimension of this k by m is the t power minus 2, okay, t power minus 2 is the dimension of this. Therefore, the kinetic energy gets converted to potential energy and vice versa. That means in the spring, when the spring is oscillating, then kinetic energy is converted into potential energy and potential energy into kinetic energy, right? That is what means vice versa. Kinetic energy into potential, potential into kinetic. However, the total mechanical energy remains constant, though they are converting into each other, but the total mechanical energy will remain conserved, okay? So this we have drawn the graph. This shows, this is the equilibrium position, x is equal to 0 position, right? The maximum extension is xm, the compression is minus xm, okay? And this graph, this curve, red curve, you can see that is showing the kinetic energy. At equilibrium, that is x equal to 0, the kinetic energy is maximum, and at the extension and the compression, this highest displacement and the least, in the negative side, it is 0, kinetic energy is 0, and this green curve is potential energy. That means at equilibrium the potential energy is 0, okay, and at the height or the displacement xm and minus xm, the potential energy is maximum. But this line shows the conservation of the mechanical energy. The total of these two, kinetic energy and the potential energy, the sum of these remains constant, that is k equal to k plus v, sorry, E equal to k plus v. Sum of the kinetic energy plus potential energy, that is this line, straight line, blue line, that indicates that the total mechanical energy remains conserved. Example 6.6. A block of mass m equal to 1 kg moving on a horizontal surface with speed Vr is equal to 2 meter per second enters a rough patch ranging from x is equal to 0.10 meter to x is equal to 2.0 meter. The retarding force Fr on the block in this range is inversely proportional to x over this range, given as Fr equal to minus k divided by x for 0.1 less than x less than 2.01 meter, equal to 0 for x less than 0.1 meter and x greater than 2.01 meter, where k equal to 0.5 joule. What is the final kinetic energy and speed Vf of the block as it crosses the patch, this patch? I have drawn the figure over here. Okay, this is the box which is moving from here. The block is moving. The initial kinetic energy we consider as Ki. This is the rough patch. Okay, the rough patch is starting from x is equal to 0.1 or 0.10 meter to x is equal to 2.01 meter. Okay, this area, this place, and this is, it reaches here, and this is the final kinetic energy. Okay, so this is a patch. The patch is given as the distance starting from 0.1 to 2.01 meter. What we are given, let us write here. Given that mass of the block m is equal to 1 kg. The retarding force they have given us the formula Fr equal to minus k by x. Initial velocity Vi is given to you 2 meter per second. The spring constant K equal to given to you 0.5 joule. Okay, these things are given. So the formula is given to you. Mass, velocity, initial velocity, and the spring constant is given. Also they have given us that when the block enters the rough patch from the position x is equal to 0.10 meter to x is equal to 2.01 meter from work energy theorem. Okay, I apply the work energy theorem. Work energy theorem is change in kinetic energy equal to the work done. So change in kinetic energy will be here Kf minus Ki. Final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy equal to work done is given as from the initial integration from initial xi to final xf f dx. So Kf as it is, which I have to find, equal to Ki transfer, it is negative, you transfer, it becomes positive. Ki plus this one integral, the initial starting from here, x is equal to 0.10. So 0.10 and xf, it is reaching up to 2.01. Okay, the patch is up to 2.01, so xf will be 2.01, and f, this is f of r, okay, which is given in the formula or in the equation as minus k by x. So I put here minus k by x dx, right? Ki, that is initial kinetic energy, the formula we know 1 by 2 mvi square minus this minus k I am taking out of the integral, so minus k integral 0.1 to 2.01, this the limit, and 1 by x dx. Okay, so this I keep as it is, half mvi square equal minus k, and this integral by formula it is ln x, and ln means log x. Okay, but here base is e, that's why it is ln x or log x. So ln x limit 0.1 to 2.01. Okay, let us put the value 1 by 2 m. M is given to us in the equation 1 kg. So put m as 1 into vi. The initial velocity is given to you 2 meter per second. So vi equal to 2 into 2 minus k. The force constant, spring constant is given to you 0.5. Sorry, this is not a spring constant, it is a force constant. Okay, sorry. Now here let us apply the upper limit minus the lower limit. Okay, so I put here ln 2.01 minus ln instead of x 0.1. Okay, now here 1 2 cancel, 1 into 1 into 2 gives you 2 minus 0.5 ln, this I am using the log property. Okay, log property, if it's negative, this will come in the division. So ln 2.01 divided by 0.1. Okay, this value is 20.1. Okay, if you divide, you know it is 20.1, right? And this value is 3. So 2 minus 0.5 into 3. If you multiply, you get 2 minus 0.5 into 3 is 1.5. This product is this difference 2 minus 1.5 is 0.5 joule. So the kinetic energy, that is at the final position or final kinetic energy, is 0.5 joule. So Vf will be, see, you know the formula for kinetic energy, it is 1 by 2 mvf square. Okay, so Vf will be equal to square root of 2 kf by m. Okay, this I am just using the kinetic energy formula, k equal to half mv square. Here V will be Vf and K will be Kf because final kinetic energy. So square root of 2 Kf we found 0.5 divided by mass of the block is given to you 1 kg. So put the value 1. So 2 into 0.5 is 1 divided by 1. So 1 answer, and the square root of 1 is 1. So 1 meter per second. Okay, so that is a solution for example 6.6. Okay, remember that the value of K is given to us, that is not a spring constant. What I have said, that is a mistake, which is corrected. The value of K, that is a constant, given to you 0.5. Okay, which I have placed here, right, from using the formula, this one. We'll keep this much for today. Thank you very much.